Now, two elections that will serve as a litmus test for the 2023 presidential election are taking place this year. The first is in Ekiti State and the second is in Osun State, both in the southwest. And with less than 7 months until the electorate in Osun go to the polls to pick a new governor, two major parties in the state, the APC and the PDP, are still grappling with internal political crisis. In the main opposition People's Democratic Party, there's a protracted tussle over who will emerge as the flag bearer of the party in the election. Despite being cleared twice by the Governorship Screening Committee of the PDP, some aggrieved members of the party are accusing Senator Ademola Adeleke, the party's candidate in 2018, of forgery and impersonation ahead of the primary election in March. They say if he wins the ticket, the party risks losing the contest to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Well, for more on this, I have in studio with me Hashim Abiyoye, who is a member of Senator Adeleke's legal team, as we continue our insight into all of this. Welcome. Let's take a critical look at why there's this uproar, especially on Senator Ademola Adeleke's credentials. We've seen the PDP National Working Committee clearing him through the screening committee, but yet members of the party are having it strongly that they feel not convinced so much that he should be the party's flag bearer, though he's 1 out of 6. What exactly is the problem with your aspirant?
Well, thank you for having me. And I will want to say that the legal team of Osun PDP is headed by Honorable Niyi Owolade. I am the secretary to the legal team. So we are not specifically for Senator Ademola Adeleke, but we are for the PDP in Osun State. And anything that will affect the image of the party, that will affect the interests of the party, and that is why the team is on ground to address issues, particularly when it borders on legal matters. Now, to your question, that there are uproars, and I would want to say that there are no uproars.
Well,
you said
everyone would doubt you, because yes, there's been this turmoil in your party where members
because if you want to say
at the screening committee of the National Working Committee of the PDP that they didn't do their job very well, because the same problem that faced Senator Ademola Adeleke, where the Inspector General of Police ordered his arrest, they say is almost rearing its ugly head, like some people will say again.
Well, that's why I said that it's just like tea, like storm in a teacup, because there was a screening panel set up by the national leadership of the party, headed by a senior advocate of Nigeria, and the screening committee scrutinized the document submitted by all the aspirants, 6 aspirants from Osun State, and they gave all of them a clean bill that they were good to go. Now, the so-called concerned PDP member, I'm coming to that, wrote an appeal before the appeal screening panel headed by Professor Jerry Ghana. And in their wisdom, the appeal screening panel considered the petition, notwithstanding that the person who wrote the petition is not a member of the People's Democratic Party, and I say it anywhere. He is not a member of our party in Osun State. He does not vote in Osun State. He does not attend any meeting in Osun State. He doesn't have any unit, any ward. Notwithstanding that, for you to know that the PDP is a party that gives opportunity to all who are ready to at least to contest on the platform of the party, insofar you are ready to abide by the rules and regulations of the party. The appeal committee considered that appeal, notwithstanding the fact that the man who wrote the petition had no locus to so do, because it is only an aggrieved aspirant who was affected by the results or the outcome of the screening panel that had the locus to appeal to the appeal screening committee. But notwithstanding that, the appeal committee headed by Professor Jerry Ghana, in their wisdom, considered that petition. They even invited the so-called petitioner.
Yeah, and you're talking about Akin Ade.
Yes.
I mean, he was even on our show, yes, and he told us several things. I mean, how could you say he's not a member of your party when he was a member of the security committee of your party in 2018 elections.
Thank you very
and
much.
Someone have been a member of that committee without being a member of the party.
Thank you very much. Let me clear this issue. You, by privilege, by providence, you may occupy a particular position in a political party if you are doing well. But if you call yourself a slave, then people will treat you as such. And that is why it calls for questioning the membership of Adeleke. Because if truly you are a member of the People's Democratic Party and you feel that something might go wrong one way or the other, what you need to do is to go to the appropriate quarters, not to go on national television, not to go into the media before awaiting, without awaiting the outcome. I'm coming. Without awaiting the outcome of the appeal committee to which you have lodged an appeal, even though you didn't have any locus to do so, but they still invited you to speak to your petition. After speaking to your petition, you did not wait for the outcome of the appeal panel before going on national television to say all sorts of things. Anyone who has the interest of the party will not behave the way Mr. Adeleke, and that was what I'm coming.
The facts he has provided, have they been disproved?
Yes, and that was the premise on which I wanted to start before you threw this question of his membership at me. Ordinarily, I would have left the messenger, I mean Adeleke, then I will address the message. But the issue is that in the wisdom of the appeal panel to which he wrote his petition, the petition he wrote to them had been dismissed, had been buried, and they found it as lacking in merit.
So you are saying that, like, for example, one of the things raised is that the issue of his O-level, which was the subject of several debates in 2018 when he contested. You know what happened in 2018? Has that been resolved?
You know what happened in 2018? You know, I have two judgments here. The first ever case that was instituted with respect to Senator Ademola Adeleke's O-level results was in 2018. Was by Olatunji Rashid Olabai and one other against Senator Nuruddin Adeleke and others. And it was decided by Milord Honorable Justice A.D. Oladimeji, now retired. And in the conclusion, in that case, let me just read the conclusion. Say, again, I have said earlier by the paragraph 10 of the various affidavits of the plaintiff's applicant, they admitted that the first defendant, that is Senator Adeleke, attended at the Muslim grammar school, a secondary school certificate level. I hold that the first defendant need not have any certificate at all or pass any paper at the school certificate level before being qualified to contest the gubernatorial primaries. The issue then was that whether he attended at the Muslim grammar school or he did not, to know whether he was actually educated up to school cert level.
But there was also the issue of NECO, which the Inspector General of Police investigated.
Thank you very much. And that
he
case
sat in 2017 for an O-level and claimed an age that wasn't his.
Thank you very much. That case, you know, he was not merely invited. He was investigated. He was charged to court, and the case was dismissed. I mean, he was discharged and acquitted, and all the co-accused in that case were discharged and acquitted. And the case of his certificate did not stop at that. They were talking about forgery. And like I said in one other interview in the past, about 2-3 days ago, that if you want to forge, can you forge F9? Can you forge a failing grade? If a man is honest enough to say that if you want to know the secondary school that I attended, that I actually attended the particular secondary school, this is my result. And he presented a result which has a failing grade. He sat for all the subjects. He had F9 in English language. They withheld all other subjects. But as at then, they did not further their investigation to know how much this man has improved himself in terms of educational qualification.
The police was wrong in doing that investigation?
No, it is for someone to allege. It is for the police to investigate. The police have investigated. They charged the matter to court. There are so many cases. Okay. Civil matters, the civil aspect, the criminal aspect. The civil aspect, I'm coming. The civil aspect has been laid to rest by the Supreme Court because there are several other matters. Federal High Court Oshogbo, FCT High Court here in Abuja. Yes, then that of FCT High Court here in Abuja went to the Court of Appeal, went to the Supreme Court. There was one at the Federal High Court Oshogbo which went to the Court of Appeal as well, Court of Appeal Akure, all were decided in favor of Senator Ademola Adeleke.
In all, the major fear of some of the contestants in the Osun primaries that will be coming up next in March is that Senator Ademola Adeleke's towering stature may actually make him to win the primaries, and if it does, it may blight the chances of the PDP because the APC already has certain things against him.
You see, that's what you are saying here.
Are you not afraid that
we are not afraid at all. Let me say this. I will still go back to the messenger. You know, we have dealt with the message because we owe the public a duty to inform them that the petition has been dismissed. Nothing about the petition again. Senator Ademola Adeleke is good to go.
Including by the appeals.
Yes, the appeal panel. Yes, they have given him a clean bill of health. Unless we'll be questioning the leadership of Senator Dr. Iyorchia Ayu, the national chairman of our party, who empaneled a high-power screening committee and a high-powered appeal screening committee, and they've dealt with the petition and they've buried the petition. But the issue now is this. When we get back to the messenger, I mean, Akin Adeyi, what calls
and the concerned group,
yes,
I mean, because it's not only one.
There is no concerned group. Let me tell you this.
But you can't.
He was the only
say that the
signatory.
Osun PDP is not divided at the moment.
Osun PDP is not divided. Let me tell you this. If you want to talk about division, you'll be talking about two parallel ESCOs. You'll be talking about two secretariats. We have only one chairman in Osun PDP, which is Honorable Sunday BC, and is recognized by the national leadership of the party.
What will you say of Olasoji Adagunodo?
Olasoji Adagunodo is the Southwest chairman. He was the former chairman of Osun PDP. He is now the Southwest chairman.
So
yes,
he doesn't control a faction in
at all. We don't have any faction. If you are talking about faction, you'll be talking about the leadership of the party being operating at parallel levels at the state level. We don't have such. We don't have two deputy chairman. We don't have two secretary. We don't have two women leaders, two youth leaders, two treasurer, two PRO. We don't have such.
Concerned about some of these aspirants emerging and what lies ahead.
Thank you very much. You see, there is no fear at all. The only issue is that all I've seen that in this particular circumstance, if you get to Osun State today and you see the feelers, you see when the man came back from abroad, Senator Ademola Adeleke, when he came from abroad, see the crowd that attended the welcome ceremony for him. You will see that, and that's the fear of the ruling party in Osun State. And the fear is for this so-called concerned PDP member. And that concerned PDP member is not a PDP member, like I told you. It's just one person. Is only it is arc propaganda and facile lie that Senator Ademola Adeleke will blight the chances of the PDP if he emerges. In fact, he is the man to beat, whether at the primary election of the party, which is coming up in March, or even at the general election, if he emerges as a candidate.
Just hold your thoughts there. When we come back, we'll talk about the local politics that's ongoing in Osun State. You're still watching the Arise interview. Plenty more still ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Arise interview. I'm Sumner Sambo, and we're still talking about the local politics in Osun State that may affect the fortunes of the two biggest political parties in the country, the People's Democratic Party and the APC. But our major focus is on the PDP, and one of the former flag bearers of the party, Senator Ademola Adeleke, is in the eye of the storm with party members trying to get angry about certain issues that are not yet resolved, which they feel that if they are not properly handled by the party, they may actually lose the election to the APC in the state. And I still have in the studio with me Hashim Abioye, who is a member of the legal team of the People's Democratic Party in Osun State. And of course, he's also been talking about Senator Ademola Adeleke here. I just want to take you to some other petitions against Ademola Adeleke. I mean, it wasn't just by the concerned group of Osun State. There was one that talked about alleged multiple identities, where he was being called Jackson. Another person said Nuruddin. So the mixture of names, Senator Ademola Nuruddin Jackson Adeleke. In another place, you see Senator Jackson Adeleke and all of that. And then there was also another one accusing him of submission of false information and all of that. What do you make of these accusations against the former senator and the chances of the PDP to actually go into the 2022 governorship primaries and then the main election as a united party.
You see, that's credulous of the propaganda of the issues you just raised now in their petition. So let me use the, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, there were 4 petitions against him specifically.
But all the issues that you have mentioned now have been resolved since 2018. Most of the issues. What the people did not do was to further, and to be honest enough, they should have, they hold the public a duty to tell the public that Senator Adeleke did not stop at O level. He only submitted that result then to show that he attended the Muslim grammar school. They did not further that he had attended university abroad. We have his transcript here.
Yeah, even before the screening committee described some of them as frivolous petitions.
Yes, exactly.
But yet the petitions are yet to go away. So
apart from his academic qualification, apart from his academic qualification, which has been established that he is eminently qualified. With his O level is good to go, notwithstanding that he has other qualifications. You can go to the Federal Ministry of Education, search about his certificate, and that is what some people are using to judge him whether he is this or that because of the F9 of a thing, without furthering about his other qualifications, his degree and some other additional qualifications. Now talking about the name, there is nothing bad about those names. His mom was an Igbo woman from Enugu State. He was given Ifeanyi. The dad was a Muslim from Ede in Osun State. He was given Nuruddin. He's using all these names. The only thing is that in some of the documents, he may use 2 here, he may use 3 in some other document. All these names are traceable to him. He's not using any fake identity. And there is nothing about that, nothing spectacular about it.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people are raising this observation because his late elder brother, Isiaka Adeleke, who's late, actually had a unified name and all of that. And it was easier for people to relate with him. Why is he taking the Osun electorate and members of your party, specifically, a lot of time? Why is it difficult for them to relate easily with Senator Ademola Adeleke? No,
it is not about the people in Osun. It is not about our party. I've told you now that the structure of the party in Osun State is not factionalized. I've told you that. Anyone who is saying that is only saying that into his own pocket.
Well, a lot of people
that is just it. So
that.
Now, as for Senator Ademola Adeleke, he has a document which has said that this is how I want my names to be arranged. And even the Supreme Court case that they are referring to, the Supreme Court said in that case that notwithstanding the irregularities, the damaging issues about the names in the man that was disqualified in Bayelsa, Degibi Obara, Kumabi Obara, and some other stuff, if he had executed a deed poll and said, this is how I want my name to be arranged, and this is how I want to be addressed, that would have cured it. Did not do that. But Senator Adeleke has done it in this circumstance.
Okay, very interesting. You didn't answer one of my questions. How prepared do you think the PDP is to challenge an APC that's probably going to be led by Governor Oyetola in the forthcoming governorship polls?
Thank you very much.
Do you think Adeleke is just that man that can challenge Governor Oyetola? That's why some of your members are against him.
Well, he has the wherewithal. He has the war chest to face the ruling APC in Osun State. The people of Osun State are tired of the ruling APC. If they are doing high service, they are doing high service. They know what they want. They know who they want. And they know what they want for themselves economically, socially, health-wise, educationally. And they know that it is not the best for them. It is not the best of time for them in Osun State now. And they are all waiting for the PDP to come. So when
so members of the APC are actually saying
you don't center yourself. You don't center.
Just hold on. They're actually saying that Senator Ademola Adeleke will be an easy beat because the same bait that the APC used for him in 2018, they still have all of that.
It is just a mind game. They don't want us.
And so that's why some of these concerned PDP members are saying that, look, let's get someone else. Let's not go with Senator Ademola Adeleke.
Now, if you want to discredit a particular person, you will have grounds to do so, isn't it? All the grounds that you have stated are baseless, isn't it? Now the primary has not even been conducted. The primary is coming up in March 7. So after the primary, we know how to go about it.
And I will ask you, why do you think they are afraid of Senator Ademola Adeleke?
The issue is this. You know, he won the first ballot in 2018. And you know what happened during the rerun election. So that is not for us now here to discuss. But you know, he won the first ballot. He had won before in 2016 when they contested the senatorial by-election. He won after the death of his 9 to 10. He won the first ballot in 20, despite all the internal sabotage, despite all the external issues that we had then, despite all the challenges, he still won the first ballot. Now all the challenges are no longer there. They don't want us to field him, so that they are looking for a weaker aspirant. So
do you think the APC is responsible for some of this intra-party crisis that we're having in your state, in Osun State?
Well, we were able to trace some hands of the ruling APC in some of these issues. They don't want us to field someone who has won election in the past, so that they want us to get someone who will be at least branding and rebranding time over time. Senator Adeleke has sold himself to the public already, to the masses, to the electorate. The grassroots people want him seriously.
And you're a member of the legal team. Why are you not talking about the other 5 aspirants that were screened alongside Senator Adeleke?
If you had told me that there was a petition against a particular aspirant here, and you asked me to come to discuss the petition about that aspirant, I will come, because we are for all the aspirants. The issue here is about Senator Adeleke. Someone came here to discredit him, to say certain ills about him,
which was not good enough. They feel concerned that if your party doesn't handle these issues properly, the PDP may end up losing the ticket.
We don't have any
to the APC.
We are good to go. We don't have any problem. Any of the aspirants, let me say this clearly, any of the 6 aspirants that are contesting now, if we hand over our ticket to any of them will beat the ruling APC, including Senator Ademola Adeleke. But to single out a particular person, to say that if you feed this person, you will do this, you will do this, in order to discredit a particular candidate, that is what we will not do.
And you keep insisting that there is no faction in Osun State. How about Wale Ojo?
Thank you very much. You are talking about Wale Ojo. Wale Ojo was the senatorial chairman. He was someone who did not, as a member of the a former member of the working committee in the state, let me put it that way.
Very quickly, as we try to
thank you very much. As a former member of the state working committee, he did not attend meeting for over 18 months. He now came about 2-3 weeks ago and said and pronounced himself as the acting chairman. Where is that vacancy?
Do you think he's behind Olasoji at that Gunodo?
I don't want to know, but
those have been the insinuations.
Wale Ojo has been removed as the senatorial. He remains a member of our party, but he has been removed as a senatorial leader. And another person, there has been a replacement. For Wale Ojo, and so that is
that Akin Adeyi too is not a member of your party.
Akin Adeyi, you can
even though he was a member of your security committee in 2018.
If even we can appoint you to head a particular committee within our party, if we need you, if we feel that you are useful for us. But if you do it, and that is based on good standing. That is based on you behaving yourself well. If you don't behave, even if you are a member of a particular political party, if you are a member of a party and you are doing such, and you have your membership card, you have everything to show that you are a member of the party, discipline within the party will not allow you to go ahead and discredit the party.
We must thank you so much, Hashim, for joining us on the show, and we can only wish the PDP and other political parties well in Osun State as they head to the polls later in July.